Before we start, if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. The following matters will come before the Revere License Commission today. This is our regularly scheduled meeting. This meeting was previously filed with the city clerk. The agenda will be as follows. The first items we'll take are the applications submitted for consideration. Item number 1, Fromy Inc., DBA Beachmont Liquors, 669 Winthrop Avenue. Michael H. Gerson is the manager. This is an application for a change of manager. The application of Fromy Inc., DBA Beachmont Liquors, for a change of manager of an all-alcohol package store from Jacob M. Gerson. Is there someone here from Beachmont Liquors? If you'd step up to the podium, please, gentlemen, and your name and address for the record.
Jacob Gerson, the owner of Beachmont Liquors.
Hit the button.
Or press it.
Yes, thank you.
Jacob Gerson, owner of the Beachmont Liquors, 669 Winter Ave. The reason for the meeting today is for a transfer of manager from myself to my son, Michael.
Okay, are you Michael? Michael, could you step up, please? And do you have any plans for changing the business, or what are your plans?
Just managing. Business is still the same situation.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I have no questions.
Are you sure you can trust them? You sure?
40 years.
40 years.
Yeah, you've been there for a while. No, congratulations. I have no questions.
Thank you.
Very good. No further questions?
Further questions?
All right, we'll close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents or anybody that would like to speak on behalf of this change of manager? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Are there any opponents or anybody opposed? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. I will entertain motions and/or discussion.
I'd move to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Very good. That's a unanimous approval. The application for a change of manager for Fromy Inc., DBA Beachmont Liquors, from Jacob M. Gerson to Michael Gerson is approved. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Congrats. Good luck. Absolutely. Ushering a new generation in, huh?
Item number 2, United Auto Center Inc., DBA Yes Auto Sales, 400 Beach Street. Francisco de Sales Barboza Neto is the manager. This is an application for a change of DBA. The application of United Auto Center Inc., DBA Yes Auto Sales, for a change of DBA to Yes Auto Sales from JR Car Sales. Your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Yes, Francisco Neto, 400 Beach Street, Revere.
Very good. Can you tell us what your plans are for this license?
The operation will be the same. The hours, everything's still the same. It's just the name, DBA name to change.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions for this gentleman?
I have no questions. It's just a change of name. Am I correct? I have no questions.
Yeah, you hit the button. I have no questions.
Very good. No one has any questions. We'll close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of this change of name? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Or anybody opposed? Is there anybody opposed to the change of name? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. I will entertain motions and/or a discussion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'd second that motion.
Very good. The motion is approved for the change of name for United Auto Center Inc., DBA Yes Auto Sales, from JR Car Sales. And that name change is approved. Good luck, sir. Item number 3, Argueta and Pinish Corp., DBA Carnival Latino Restaurant Bar, 7B Everett Street. Julia Duarte Alacon is the manager. This is another application for a change of DBA. The application of Argueta and Pinish Corp., DBA Carnival Latino Restaurant Bar, from Nino's Restaurant and Bar. This is a continuation from the November meeting. Your name and address for the record, please.
Julia Duarte, 7B Everett, Nino Restaurant.
Very good. Can you tell us what changes, if any, you're gonna make to this, or what is your plans for this license?
Everything stay normal, just a change for the name, for the business.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I have no questions.
No, I have no questions. I've eaten at your restaurants. Very good food.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good food.
Okay, we'll close this section. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the name change from Nino's Restaurant and Bar to Carnival Latino Restaurant Bar? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Is there anybody opposed to the name change? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. I will entertain motions and/or discussion.
Now, again, if it's just a name change, I have no questions.
I'd move to approve the application.
I'll second the motion.
Very good. That'll be approved. The application for a change of DBA from Nino's Restaurant and Bar to Carnival Latino Restaurant and Bar. That's approved. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.
Item number 4, Revere Restaurant Group, Inc., DBA Tio Juan Margaritas Mexican Restaurant. This is an application to amend the entertainment license. The application of Revere Restaurant Group to amend the entertainment license to add DJ karaoke, vocal, instrumental, music, floor show, and athletic events. The current license is for cable TV, radio, and jukebox. Your name and address for the record, please.
You just turned it off.
You need to put on the,
Turn
just
it off.
press the button. There you go. Thank you.
My name is Victoria Bean. I'm Assistant General Manager. Address is 85 American Legion Highway in Revere.
Very good. And can you tell us what your plans are for the additional items on the entertainment license?
Yes, occasional nights with a DJ or karaoke, otherwise keeping business as usual as it is now.
I note you have athletic events here. What athletic events were you thinking about?
As far as I know, no athletic events, just DJ and karaoke.
Okay. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Well, here it says you're applying for floor shows, and,
Yeah.
I mean, can you break it down for me just a little bit so I understand what you're bringing in? This sounds more like a mini convention.
Again, as far as I understand, it would be just DJ and potential karaoke, no floor shows or athletic events.
So then, do you want to make your application just for, to apply for just the DJ and the karaoke? Here it says, from what I'm reading, is a floor show, athletic events, vocal instrumental music. I think that's everything that we offer on the entertainment.
Okay. That could include just like some potential games, like Jenga or like beer, not beer pong, but cup pong that are occasionally involved in like a DJ event, but nothing like a floor show or like big entertainment, if that makes
Are you
sense.
planning on bringing in bands or musical groups or any other entertainment?
Not at the moment, just a DJ or karaoke.
Very good.
Well, that sounds okay for me to just vote on the karaoke and DJ. If
Right, but
you're not looking, yes, Commissioner?
no, I'm with you on that because it seems like it. I'm not sure if the intent was just to have like an all-encompassing, entertainment, but the true intent's just to have a DJ and karaoke, but it seems like the intent behind the request is to have instrumental music and, floor show, which kind of puts you in a different arena, so to speak. Sounds like you're trying to have a little club there.
Counselor, did you want to say
Counselor?
something on behalf
Yes.
of or opposed to?
On behalf of, I'm a proponent. I think there might be a little bit of, Anthony Cogliandro, 105 Newman Street, Ward 3 City Councilor. I think there may be a little bit of disconnect between corporate and the management of the facility. I think when they applied for this, they kind of just, as you said, applied for everything, Commissioner
What was
Gonassis.
available.
Yeah, so I believe what they want to do is even just to have somebody playing acoustic music. I know one of the bartenders, Artie DiMattia, also does DJ events that night. They're very, this is an establishment that we have no issues with, and it's going to be into the confines of the restaurant itself. So I would absolutely be in favor of that. As far as, this seems like they want to have like gymnastics events, the way it's like written here, so I'm not sure about the floor show and all that, but like I said, I think there might be a disconnect between corporate and this facility itself, but I would be in favor of everything, but, what was it, the floor shows was on there, there it is. Floor
Well,
show,
what
and
they applied for was DJ, karaoke, vocal, instrumental music, floor show, and athletic events.
right, so I mean, it sounds like they're gonna have a flag football tournament in there, and that's, so I'd be in favor of the vocal instrumental music and the DJ and the karaoke. The other two, I'm not really sure. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Well,
Counselor.
I think that I'm okay with the DJ and the karaoke. And on a special event, you can always apply if you're having a special event, I believe.
Right.
And we can approve it as an event if something did come up. But I think the karaoke and DJ sounds okay for there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not opposed to even the vocal instrumental, if they wanted to. Does that bring, is that more like special event? Yeah.
Because we don't know
No.
who would be called in to do that. I'd rather be getting what kind of groups are coming in. We do that with the other bars also.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to your application before I close this part of the hearing?
Nope, that's all. Sorry for any of the confusion.
Close this part. Are there any proponents, anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the entertainment license additions for TO1 Margaritas? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the additions to the entertainment license? You don't see or hear anybody, we'll close that section. I will open up to a general discussion and or motion. I am kind of siding with Commissioner Osina on this with regard to the music and vocal stuff. There is a gentleman with a guitar who's the bartender who, I don't see that as a stumbling block. I don't know how you feel about that, Commissioner Guanasso.
When I read vocal, I'm thinking entertainment, a singer, musical instruments that could include any group. That's how I'm looking at it. I understand if someone's coming in and play a little music at the tables, that works, but when you say vocal, that's more of a group. It would be a singer with instrumental.
Right, but I mean, just off of my personal interaction with this restaurant over many, many years, it's a very family-oriented restaurant. I don't think it's, like, because when I initially saw it, I'm thinking, like, almost like concert-like performances, but I don't think that's the intent here. I think it would be, if they brought in someone that's playing live music that happens to be able to sing and while play a guitar while a family's enjoying their dinner, I can't see it transitioning into something, like concert-based where a special license would be required.
Well, excuse me, I guess then my question would be, if you were saying vocal instrumental, that would be in the dining room. You also have other rooms where you could have entertainment, separate rooms.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you're saying vocal, I understand what my colleagues are saying. If you're saying vocal in the restaurant and they're gonna go around, I guess a couple of restaurants do offer that. But I guess my concern is, again, the special room that you have, should you have vocal and instrumental, that would include groups to come in and entertain. So is this for the restaurant part? Is that what you're saying this vocal instrumental would be, to entertain the people that are dining there?
Yes, but I believe, as my fellow said, that it would be more for DJ and karaoke, less so much like walking around entertaining, more just stationary entertainment, if that clarifies anything.
In the dining area?
Yes, the dining area is kind of all one room with one barrier,
Right.
yeah. So it's,
Do you have private entertainment rooms? Like, because I've only eaten at the restaurant. Is there other rooms where you can host like a private event?
there is a room connected to
Yes.
the restaurant that is part of the hotel that
I've
we're,
gone to
But it's part of the
functions there.
hotel, or is it part of the restaurant?
the restaurant, I believe the restaurant now owns that private room, but the hotel owns obviously the whole property,
Right.
so.
Yes, because I have gone to functions there, and it is a side room. Yes, it's a side room where they've had entertainment before. I see Councilor Novoselsky is sitting in the audience. We've gone to a couple of times there. And, you know, I don't even know if you brought in groups, if that would bother the tenants of the hotel. So that's where my concern is. I do know the building, it is wonderful, I've eaten there. But I am concerned about that separate room. Are we gonna use that room for vocal instrumental? That's my question.
My thing is this, Maggie, I have a question for you. So I'm thinking athletic events. So let's say a youth, sports team wanted to reserve their side room for
They
their
can do that.
banquet, and they wanted a DJ. Would they need a special license for that? Because that's kind of the entertainment that I think that they're going with, athletic event. It'll be more like a banquet for a team or.
Well, we could,
Wait, That wouldn't
allow
count as an
that.
athletic event, though. I mean, it would be a team, of course, but that's not an athletic event.
It's not, that wouldn't be considered an athletic
If they
event.
wanted to
Yeah,
set
that
up a
would just be
boxing ring
considered,
and have a boxing
a dinner.
match. now
That's an
that would be
athletic event.
If you wanted to
Oh,
have
so
a
yeah,
judo
no.
tournament in the room, that might be an athletic event. If you wanted to hold a football game in the room.
Yeah, no. Okay, so that's not what I was thinking. I was
I
thinking.
would think, excuse me,
Sure.
I would think that, again, I'm still with that vocal instrumental, but I would think with this license, maybe we could extend it to that private room also, DJ karaoke.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. We could allow that. We could allow the DJ instrumental in that private room. Should someone come in, as you said, maybe youth hockey, but whatever it may be, we could extend it to that room, the
So let's do that.
license. Because I think the alcohol license can be used also in that room. You've served alcohol in that private room.
Yes,
So I
correct.
think where the alcohol is allowed in that private room, then we should be able to let her use the karaoke and DJ in that room also. You know,
I mean, is your concern that they're gonna bring in like U2 or these rock bands?
well, I don't know if
and-
they're gonna come to Revere, but yeah, something like that might be, might come in. But if they did come, I would go. But yeah, I guess that's my problem. You know, we allowed this at one establishment one time, and we weren't, I don't know if my colleagues were on the board at the time, but we weren't, I suppose, prepared for what was gonna happen. I figured, well, vocal and instrumental, that was okay, and then the roof was almost coming off the building. So that's my concern. And again, you know, the tenants in the building. And the corporation is okay with you applying for this?
Yes, ma'am. I do understand your concern. Again, as my colleague said, it's definitely a family restaurant, and it would be very family-friendly. It wouldn't be anything that would extend past our open hours or past any hours that would disturb any residents or people that were staying in the hotel.
Right.
So we work really hard to try to keep that relationship good and healthy, and we don't want to do anything to disturb that. So, but I do understand your concern.
Because it does happen, it's happened many times. But yeah, I'm okay with the karaoke and DJing throughout the bottom floor with that function room. And I've been in that function room many times, very nice.
Well, would you want to make a motion, and we can either vote on it or add to it?
Add to what? Add to adding the
Well,
DJ
what would your
and-
motion be at this point?
Well, my motion would be that they could have karaoke and DJing in the function room and also your dining area. And that's what you wanted to begin with, am I correct?
Yes, correct.
And then if you did have a special event, then maybe we could look at that. You could apply for a one-day special permit. And then we could look at what the entertainment would be. So that's how I feel about it, but my colleagues may feel differently, I don't know.
Are your feelings, Commissioner Orsina?
I would certainly move to approve the license with the exception of the floor show and the athletic event. I'm not sure if the intent was to actually include that as part of the entertainment, but.
Well, the
I'm okay
motion,
with
the
everything else.
motion on the floor right now is to approve the license with a DJ, karaoke, cable TV, radio, and jukebox. Do you want to second that, or would you like to add to it,
I would
or
like
make
to
a
add
substitute?
I would like to add the vocal and instrumental music as well. If that's-
So your motion would be to approve this entertainment license for DJ, karaoke, vocal, instrumental music, cable TV, radio, and jukebox.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay, I would second your motion. So we would approve that, all right? So at this point, your application to amend the entertainment license is approved to the point of DJ, karaoke, vocal, instrumental music, cable TV, radio, and jukebox. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Item number 6, Atlantic Auto Body, Inc. I'm sorry, this item is going to be continued until January at the request of the applicant. Oh, I skipped number 5? Oh, I'm sorry, okay. Number 5, Rincon Lemon Revere, Inc., 260 Broadway. Juan D. Yamarillo is the manager. This is an application also to amend an entertainment license. The license for Rincon Lemeno Revere is to add DJ karaoke instrumental music to its current entertainment license, which is for cable TV, radio, amplifiers, and vocal music. And this is a continuation from the November meeting. Name and address for the record, please.
Good afternoon, Juan Jaramillo, 14 Trifoni Road, Riviera.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yamarillo. Can you tell us what you'd like to do with this entertainment license?
Okay, so the entertainment license is to have mostly like it's a guy playing guitar there during the only one day of the week or a couple days, depending how it goes. Just to bring something different to the environment of the business. That's pretty much what it is.
So I see you're also looking for DJ and karaoke.
Yeah,
Is that-
just in case it can become a DJ or karaoke, because you never know. People probably don't like the idea of having one guy just singing music. So we can have a DJ one night, or either the guy singing the other night. And that's pretty much what it is.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Well, yeah, of course. Can you just tell me, just for the record, where is 260 Broadway?
Across the
China
street,
Roma.
all China Roma.
The China Roma?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, are you using upstairs at all? Are
No.
you gonna be using that?
Still an apartment.
Oh, it's an
I wish I can use it as a
Well, that used to be the entertainment in the city repair. That was,
No, it's an apartment right now. And it's
I was all ready to say, yes, go ahead with it. I thought you opened up upstairs again.
I would love to.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
What's the capacity in your restaurant?
66 people.
66?
So I fairly have space for the person. So we're just gonna sacrifice one table and we're just gonna do a little spot where the guy's gonna be, even the DJ or the person's gonna sing.
Right, because I've been in there and I'm just wondering where you have the room to.
Yes, I'm planning to have it right in the back where I have the two high tables. So we probably sacrifice a little corner, or a little bit off it when he comes and sings.
Okay,
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
okay, so it's the same license. Okay, thank you very
Yeah.
much. I was kind of hoping you had upstairs.
I hope, then I apply to bring big groups.
I
you have
have
any
no other
questions?
questions, thank you.
Thank
No,
you.
I don't have any questions for this.
Very good. We will close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the expanded entertainment license? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Is there anybody opposed to the issuance of a expanded license for 260 Broadway? Don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section.
May I ask one more question? I'm sorry.
Certainly.
You said you have tenants upstairs. How many
Yeah.
apartments do you have over the building?
Only one.
Just,
Only one family live upstairs in a 2,400 square feet apartment.
oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Very good. All right, so we can close that aspect of the hearing, and now I'll open it up for the discussion and/or motions. Does anybody have anything they want to discuss about this? Anybody have a motion they'd like to bring on this?
I'd move to approve the application as is.
Very good. I would second that approval. The application to amend the entertainment license for Rincon Lemenio Revere is approved. The application will include DJ, karaoke, instrumental music to be added to the cable TV, radio, amplifiers, and vocal music. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Lexi.
All right, we already dealt with number 6. Number 7, Mass Trips, Inc., DBA Revere Beach Pizzeria, 180 Shirley Avenue. Abel Moreno is the manager. This is an application for a common victualer's license.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And the common victualer's license will be exercised at 180 Shirley Avenue. The hours of operation will be Sunday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. The requested seating is 18. And this is for the Revere Beach Pizzeria.
Yes, sir. My name is Evo Moreno, but my son is going to ask the question. He's
Very good.
the
Thank you.
He's the president of the company.
Yes.
Thank you very
I'll be
much, sir.
representing Mastrip Singh. My name is Emiliano Moreno, and like you said, I'm the president.
Okay, very good. So what's your plans for this Revere Beach Pizzeria?
So, yeah, we're going to open a pizza place at 180 Shirley Avenue. It's going to be very close to our other restaurant, Esquite. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a New York slice kind of place. So it's going to have racks of ready-to-eat pizza. This is going to benefit especially a lot of people coming in from work, from the station nearby. And we plan to have the hours similar to the other places in the area. So it's going to be 11 to 9. We're also going to have a few seats, but it's not like an actual restaurant with servers. It's, like I said, like our other restaurants as well, if you're familiar. Like, it's just like grab and go mostly. We're going to have, besides pizza, just a few other items, really not much of a big menu, like sandwiches, salads, calzones, but besides that, not much. We're going to focus on that small part. And another thing is, yeah, like I mentioned, we're just going to have a few seats for people, but not like servers or anything, and no alcohol.
Okay. That sounds like an interesting venture. And that's in the new space, right at the corner of Shirley Avenue and North Shore Road? Is that where we're talking about?
Yes, it's the new building that just finished construction, I think, a few months ago. And the place is also going to have a Revere Beach history theme, hence the name Revere Beach Pizzeria. We're gonna have like a nice clock there and a few references to the history of Rainier Beach.
Well, great, it sounds like a good spot. I like your Esquite place, it's very good. I like the food there.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Do any
You've
of my-
been there?
Yes, I have. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
No, I have no questions. I enjoy pizza, so I have no questions.
What's the address of the other restaurant?
Oh, it's 194. That's the other one.
Oh, so it's really close. I gotta come try it. I gotta try the food.
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah. Pop in there.
And now you also have the place on North Shore Road, right? Is that also your, one of your ventures?
Correct. Yeah, we also have the other place at 1148 North Shore Road.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We'll close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Anybody like to speak on behalf? Your name and address, please, Counselor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners Ira Novoselsky, 53 Dehone Street, Ward 2 Counselor. I live right around the corner from this location, and they have quite a history going from Mexican restaurants to pizzeria-type scenario. And I know their family is mostly from Europe and Mexico, and they actually want to do a Mexican-style pizza. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works out, but we're definitely in favor of it. They run a lot of good locations. They have the little cart that is parked up here at the
street
Legion
corner
on the
park.
street, yeah. So they do a good business everywhere. Everybody loves their food, and I think it'll be great for the neighborhood. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Counselor. And are there any other proponents? Excuse me. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the issuance of this common victualer's license? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Is there anybody opposed to the issuing of the common victualer's license to Revere Beach Pizzeria? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Discussion and/or motions?
I'll make a motion to approve if there's no other questions.
I'd second that motion.
Very good. The motion for the application for a common victualer's license for Revere Beach Pizzeria is approved. That license will be exercised at 180 Shirley Avenue. The hours of operation will be Sunday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. The requested seating of 18, and that license is approved. Good luck, folks. I'm looking forward to trying your pizza.
Good luck.
Thank you. That concludes the items on today's agenda for applications for consideration. The next items will be hearings. Item number 8, Taqueria Acalipto 2 Corp., DBA Las Vegas Restaurant, 107 Shirley Avenue. Claudia Isabel Cabrera is the manager. This is a hearing into concerning multiple complaints that have been received regarding disruptive patients and excess noise in the neighborhood. And your name and address for the record, please, ma'am.
I am counsel for the owner, Mr. Santos here. My name is Rebecca Edmondson Corum. I live at 27 Greenhalgh Avenue in Everett.
Thank you very much.
My name is Raul Santos. I'm the owner of the place.
Very good, sir. Thank you for coming today. The reason why we're having this hearing is that we've received a fair amount of complaints regarding your establishment, and particularly noise and disruptions on the street. So in the interest of, I guess, brevity and getting some clarity, if Council Novoselsky, you've been receiving some complaints, if you'd kind of explain to these folks what the issues are from your perspective.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ira Novoselsky, 53 Dehone Street, Ward 2 Counselor. Back in late November, October, late October, I received emails and several phone calls regarding late night activities as they were closing, mostly from, say, 1:30 to 2:30. And people coming out of the establishment screaming and yelling. And I know they may be waiting for Uber or rides to come, but they're hanging around. Some of them have been urinating on the sidewalks against the buildings. And the calls I'm getting are from within 100 feet of the establishment. 110 Shirley Ave, 112 Shirley Ave, 50 Walnut Ave, 100 Shirley Ave, 84, 86 Shirley Ave. And I got one email from someone which I gave to you folks.
Yes, thank you,
And I
Councilor.
was waiting for one more, but she never got to send it. But she did complain to me verbally. Now, I know we haven't had any issues with them for, 5 or 6 years since the last complaints, but everything goes in a cycle. And, I'm just looking for better security and better coverage outside their establishment when they close. I did get one call that someone was breaking bottles outside. Now, I don't know if the bottles came from inside or not, but they were breaking bottles out there. So I'm just looking to clean up the area, let the people sleep, and not be disturbed as they should. I don't live that far, but it's still far enough away from me not to hear it. So I'm just looking for their support to have whatever security details they have, whether they're private or Revere Police, to watch that time frame from, and I'll say, from 12 to 2, to cover that area and make sure that the people outside are not hanging around and not screaming. So that's my scenario and introduction right now, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Counselor. And I'll just read from an email just that was sent in regarding, and this came in November, so it is kind of a couple months ago, or at least last month anyway. The Las Vegas bar at 107 Shirley Avenue, continually at closing on Saturdays and Fridays, has patrons that yell, shout, honk horns, race car engines, blast car radios, hang out, and argue loudly when they are leaving the bar between 1:45 and 2:15. I know I've been told to call the police when patrons come out and are disturbing the peace at 1:45 to 2:15, but by the time the police get there, everyone is gone. This person who sent in the email supports small businesses, but feels that 2 a.m. is too late for residents to be awoken by a noisy crowd. And they're asking that the License Commission take some action to curtail this activity. So I guess I would ask you, Counselor, what would your clients propose in order to alleviate the neighborhood concerns?
Well, first, we were not quite sure what the complaints were until we got before you today and just now, and heard from the counselor as well. They have not been put on notice by either the police or any neighbors or anything else about these disturbances. Of course, they're of concern, and they want to be good neighbors. They've been good neighbors at the spot for 14 years. They are also on a street with 5 other places that stay open just about as late as they do, and also serve alcohol close. And so I have had extensive discussions with Mr. Santos about, how are you calling are there disturbances? And if there is somebody that gets out of line for whatever reason, they do call the police. And so I did pull the list here, and I think y'all have it as well, the call list for 107 Shirley Ave from the police department. I do not see, do we know exactly when that disturbance, the emailer was talking about, what date that occurred?
No, all I have is the date of the email, which was November 9th.
Okay. There was a disturbance on 11/7 at 1:30 in the morning, and that was called by my client because there is not unruly, but what they do is at 1 o'clock they shut the doors per the mandate from this commission. Music will end at 1, No more patrons are allowed in after 1. These are the rules that y'all established for them back in 2016, and they abide by them to the letter. Last call is at 1:15. Lights are on at 1:30, and they do have the security to personnel on site as well to make sure both inside and outside is taken care of, especially afterwards. They want to be good neighbors. And this is the first he's hearing about any disturbances or unruly patrons, bottles breaking, but he doesn't know if it's his patrons or other patrons as well. And he would like to do anything he could to make sure that he is literally on site every night. He's the closer. And, you know, we talked about have you heard any of these complaints? Has anybody told you about any of this? And he has not heard any of this. So this is our first blush impression, or this is our first time hearing about what the issues are with his patrons, or perhaps the patrons of other bars on the street as well. But he wants to be a good neighbor, absolutely. But a lot of people get very upset when they won't let them in after 1 o'clock, because they do technically have a 2 o'clock bar license, and everybody knows that when the last call is 15 minutes in, so they want to get that last drink in, but people get very unruly. So they do call the cops or try to de-escalate the situation. They do have security on staff every weekend as well. Every day for the weekend, right?
Weekends.
All the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So,
All right. Well,
so
thank you
please,
very much.
you know, we didn't know he wasn't being a good neighbor, or his patrons weren't being good neighbors. So we are open to talking about how to rectify the situation. And also, I know there's another restaurant about to come online with a full liquor license too on the street. So, you know, maybe collectively they could all work together for something as well.
Well, just on your client's behalf, we have spoken with the liaison for the License Commission with the police department, and he has indicated that the bar has called the police on occasion. So it's not a question of them trying to cover anything up. So we appreciate that, and we appreciate them getting the police involved in these situations. Thank you very much. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions for these folks?
No, I have no question. I'm just surprised that no one has ever come to you and said, there's noise out there during the day. Have you spoke to anyone?
Nobody told me that. Like, we received the letter. So no, the neighbors never come to me over there.
No neighbors have ever complained to you? No? Okay, thank you.
And also, he did not know that Mr., I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Novolewski? Please, I'll be glad to talk with you after this, and we can collaborate on how to best.
Please talk into the mic so that we
My
can hear you.
apologies.
Thank you.
I'll be glad to work with the counselor to listen to the concerns and help try to rectify the situation as well. You know, we want to be good. My client wants to be a good neighbor.
Right. Well, the
And a good
counselor
business
knows,
owner.
the counselor takes very well care of his ward. He's the Ward 2 counselor there, and he does take very good care of it.
Absolutely.
And I think that he'll be paying him a visit quite frequently to see what's going on and rectify this problem. So I have no questions.
Do you have any questions, Commissioner Ochino?
So yes, I noted that you said that you have, is it private security or detail that's usually there on that?
Private,
Private security.
It's private. Does that person come outside when everyone's, or does he stay just inside the premises?
They come into the sidewalk and to make sure everybody go away,
Okay.
get the Uber, taxi.
Yeah.
But at the time we closed.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, and I think I was mentioning to the commissioner here that, you know, your location is, you know, it's a sensitive area because there's houses, every house right behind you. It's, you know, it's a highly residential area, so, and, but, you know, I don't think that, I think you're doing what you can, and, you know, just continue to be courteous to your neighbors, I guess. But I don't really have any other questions other than that. He has security on the premises. I'm not sure what else we could ask him to do.
Well, I think we could ask him to go outside a little bit and shoo patrons along.
He said his security
at
does
closing
that.
time. You know, I'd like to
From,
make that be more of a priority perhaps than it has been.
Absolutely.
Beyond that, I mean, I don't like my colleague says, I'm not sure what else can be done beside rolling back hours. But we want to keep businesses in business, and, you know, it's not our wish to hurt businesses, but by the same token, you have to be able to live within the community in which your business is operating. And so if that requires the security to get out there and monitor that situation, even if it requires hiring in another security person so that you can keep eyes inside and outside, that may be something, but I will leave that to you. And at this point, I guess I would make a motion that we just file this for now. And if we have additional complaints, we will bring it back. And then we will have to take additional steps. But I think filing it would be something that, you know, you're on notice. You've been told that this is the problem, and we're kind of leaving it to you to deal with it in the context of your business.
We appreciate that very much.
And if all of that goes well, then everybody will be happy. If it doesn't, we'll come back here and we'll start taking action that we think we need to take.
All right. Thank you.
My
Is that
colleagues,
from the motion?
yes, so
Yes.
that would be
I
my
would-
motion to file, to put this on a file.
I would agree to place it on file, and should any other complaints come through, we can revisit
All right.
the situation and see what's going on.
We
So
very
I
much
think the whole
appreciate
thing is just, you've got to get out there at 1 o'clock, you've got to have someone out there and get the cars moving. I think you can correct that.
we wanna work more hard to try to avoid those problems.
Thank you, sir, we appreciate that. Do you
So-
have anything else you'd like to add, Commissioner?
I don't, I think Commissioner Granello seconded your motion, so.
Yes, so that's what we're gonna do. This matter is on file, and hopefully, we won't see you back here.
Right.
You know what?
We appreciate it.
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Item number 8, Center Motors, Inc., 120 Squire Road. Claudio Pontes is the manager. This is a hearing concerning multiple complaints of too many cars for sale on the lot, cars driving dangerously on residential streets, blocking public roads, and neighborhood access. Did I say?
Item number 9.
Oh, this is item number 9.
It's okay.
So, here we are. Sir, the allegation is that you're having too many cars on your lot, that when people are test driving, they're bombing up and down Patriot Parkway, that when you have vehicles delivered, they're blocking the street. I'm gonna do the same thing in this hearing that I did with the last hearing. We have a city councilor who's received complaints.
Okay.
I'm gonna have him come up and basically kind of characterize what we're talking about here, and then we can move on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Anthony Cogliandro, 105 Newman Street, Ward 3 City Councilor. So I just want to be clear about my intentions today. I know that this business has had complaints for quite some time, but the last thing that I want to do is hurt anyone's business. What I'm here to do today is try to help this business be a better neighbor to the residents in the area. You've gotten a lot of the complaints. I have monitored the number of vehicles that have been on that lot every day this month. And I will say, there's definitely a difference between operating hours and when they're closed. Some days there are 22 cars and under all day. Some days there are 22 cars under during the day, but not at night, and then some days it's vice versa. So I know that they are trying to appease the rules of their license. And what we need to do is we need to just have a discussion about the speeding going up and down the street, the delivery vehicle, I actually myself pulled over one day. The delivery vehicle was parked in the middle of the road. The tire went right into the mulch, ruining the mulch. I went to ask to speak for a manager. There wasn't one available, and what I was told was they need to have their cars delivered. I said, I understand that, but, you know, we can't have, you know, there's also issues of the delivery vehicle being double parked on the side of the road. So, you know, if they move all their vehicles out of the way and park the delivery vehicle on the sidewalk, you know, a little down the road so that when you turn off Esquire Road, there's no danger there, there's no problem with that. I also witnessed car detailing being done on the sidewalk the other day. I've also gotten complaints that the neighbors themselves have gone to the business only to either be laughed at or told that there's a language barrier and they couldn't understand what the neighbor was saying. So again, I just, you know, I want to have this discussion with Sena Motors. I've never met the management over there, and I just want to work together so we can find a solution that makes everybody happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor. Siri, well, you've heard the characterization of what's going on.
Yes.
What do you have to say about this?
So my name is Claudio Sina, 120 Square Road, Revere, Mass. I just wanted to bring the story. A while back, we had some complaints in the past, and I've even come here in front of you guys. I do remember Linda and yourself. You might have been on the hearing too.
Mm-hmm.
Some complaints which I'm not sure where they came from, because one of them was there was a restaurant down the other side of the street, on the other street, that had cars with no license plates parked, and they blamed us as if we were selling cars down there. I will address all of your things as well, sorry, but I just want to say it. You know, at Sina, we've been in business in there, and you said as well you haven't met me as well for a time, so like I said, we've been in there now for about 8 years, okay? When we transitioned and we actually got that place, the guy that was there did a huge harm to the community. He sold cars that didn't even exist, license guarantees to people. So I feel like the people who are within this license doing those kind of things to the community, they should definitely be punished with the full power of your authority. But ever since then, there's never been one single complaint in the last 8 years in regards to actually how we actually do business. And yes, we have grown considerably since then. And just like any business who starts small anywhere, we get customers who come in, we're serving the community. I'd like to consider that as a good thing. The one thing we have been trying to do every day as the truck comes in, because you have to understand, sometimes we get trucks from New Jersey or Pennsylvania. So as the trucks come in, we tell them and we try to move all the cars as when they come in every day. I'm not particularly sure which day that you drove by that happened. Sometimes they happen one day or the other, but we have been strongly trying every single day when the truck comes, we move all of the cars and he parks right close to the dealership, as close as we can. In regards to the lot and the licensing, we have 22 cars to sell, but we have a lot more spaces in the actual lot. The reason why we put cars there is because we have registered vehicles, not vehicles for sale, vehicles that we're actually going to deliver to consumers. And we were trying to offload the cars from the street as much as we can to put it in the actual land. That's why those spots were actually there. The license says you can sell 22 unlicensed, unregistered vehicles, but the other ones are for parking, and that's what we use it for. So you can go in there anytime. I have all of the registered plates for all of the customers that will have the cars delivered on that day, and the intent is to offload the street with as much cars as we can and put it in our lot. After all, that's what we have the lot there for. That is the intention. So have the cars for sale, and transportation comes also to help that. So we have a secondary location in Tewksbury, Mass. It has unlimited license number there. So the cars that actually stay at the Riviera location are just cars for sale or delivery. And we stick to the license also because we need to deliver the cars. So we can't have an unbalanced lot with just cars for sale, because there's constant deliveries that we have to make on a day-to-day basis too. One concern I had on the previous meeting we had was that nobody came. I'm actually very happy that you did come today, because there were complaints that we couldn't track, we didn't know who they were, and yourselves had agreed with me that we couldn't address problems, concerns, if we don't know what they are, and how can we actually try to help you in any way. I just think that now that you have come and perhaps he has closer relationship with the people that are unsatisfied, that we can help with too, and try to come up with a solution for it. We're not saying, obviously, we don't want to help or we don't want to do anything. It's just sometimes how can you address a problem you don't even know? So perhaps having a closer relationship with the council will be able to see exactly more specifically what is making them satisfied and some not. And yes, we've also have some side of our stores, some neighbors walking in and literally very aggressive at our managers because one of the customers had parked in front of his house. But again, it's a registered vehicle, and and addressing the detailing part that you said, there is this company that does a service. They have their own van, and sometimes they, which we don't use anymore, by the way, but at least we're trying not to use it. We've just opened a new operations center also to try and do it. So basically, Tewksbury has the dealership. We also have an auto center. The auto center now focuses on detailing and mechanics and everything. The secondary dealership is a car dealership. It sells too, but the Reveal location is really just a sales point location, and customers come in, they look at the cars. Once the cars sell, it goes up, and we're just trying as much as we can to keep the operation that way. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that explanation. So just so I'm clear,
Okay.
the fact that there are, excuse me, say on a particular day, 26 cars in the lot, only 22 of them are for sale.
Correct. If you have any number of cars at the dealership that are over that amount, they are registered vehicles to be delivered to consumers.
Okay.
And they can come in at the dealership anytime and ask for their, the registered plates, the licenses, anything you need, because they're just about to be delivered.
Okay, very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any
Yes,
questions for this
I
gentleman?
do.
You probably
First of
remember
all,
me.
detailing is not allowed at all. You
Okay.
cannot detail. I have seen it. I'm very familiar with that area.
Okay.
And as Councilor Cogliando said, we're not here to put people out of business. We're not here to hurt people. I've known this lot for many, many years. And yes, before you, there were a lot of problems. You've done a wonderful job. You've cleaned up the lot. It looks good. The thing is, you're saying you have 5 spots. You actually can only have 22. Those 5 spots, if you remember, when you came for the license, you said you were going to park your employees' cars there.
Yes.
So if you're using those lots for cars that are sold, so you're going over the 22 and you're using that parking, where are your employees parking?
My employees do park in the street.
They
Yes.
park on the street,
So
yes.
they can park also in the spots, but then the registered vehicles would eventually go to the street to be
Well,
delivered.
I think that if you went by your license, they should be parking in the parking spaces that we made you line up for employees. And then, yes, if a car is registered, they can park wherever they want, whether you sold it or not. If you sold a car and it's registered, obviously, they have the right to park on the street. So I feel bad for the neighbors, but that if a car's registered, it can. But your employees should be on the lot. You should not be going over that 22. If someone's picking up a car and it's registered, it should be up
That's
there.
okay. I mean, for us, I'm sorry to interrupt.
The other problem that we had when the other fellow owned that lot for many years, they were actually looking at one time, and I don't know if it became a city problem or what, that the cars would pull in the front. A parking lot a driveway was going to be opened so that these cars were going to pull in your lot, and there was going to be an opening for them to come in and come out. And then I know you ended up taking the other spaces where it could have made the U-turn to enter and exit.
I'm confused. I'm sorry. Could you repeat again?
Well, if you go in a gas station and you pull in a driveway and you get your gas and you come back out, you would all be Squire Road,
Correct.
if that happened. And before you bought this lot, that's what they were looking into. I don't know what happened with the city. They had to get permission to open the curbing, so that may have been denied. I don't really know. But the thing is, you're a business owner. And I think personally, for many years, that place has had a lot of problems. And your problem is with the neighbors, and I think the problem is, I think your employees should be parking on those spaces that we gave you when we said how many for-sale cars you should have. You shouldn't be over 22. Your employees should be parking in there. If customers come and they want to look at cars, they can use the street if they're registered, okay? But to leave cars there, you've sold cars and they haven't picked them up for 1, 2, 3 days. So they're on the street. That's not fair to the neighbors. It's really not.
You know, just this week, we actually had multiple police officers come over to our business. I'm pretty sure perhaps it was the request of the city at no given time. Not once, but, you know, did we know that they were coming, and not once were we infringing our license in any way. And as far as I have understood in the past, or at least this is my understanding, like you just said, if you want me to change it, I can change it in any way. 22 cars are for sale, the other ones are for parking. If I'm parking a customer's vehicle that is going to be delivered inside the land, inside my land, or if it's outside in the street versus one employee inside the business or in the street, it ends up being the same math, the same amount of customers or employees that are in the land or outside.
I totally agree
Does
with
that
you,
make sense?
but I'm going by what your license says. Your license said you had to have parking for employees, as we do with every other used car lot. They all have to
Yes.
have spaces for employees to park.
Yes.
And, you know, there's days that, you know, you may not have that many customers. I mean, how many customers do you get? I go by there all the time, to be honest with you. I think it's a very nice place. I think you keep it clean. It's come a long way from what it was. But again, we have to be respectful of the neighbors.
Yes, that's not a problem. We can change that.
Okay. Thank you.
I think one thing that's troubling for me is that you have a city representative that has visited your business in an attempt to, are you the on-site manager?
I'm the business owner.
You're the
On-site
owner.
manager is Mary over there.
Okay. So, and, you know, I think that you have to understand that whenever you have a city representative, especially your counselor, your Ward 3 counselor, has indicated to us that he's attempted to bring these concerns of the community to your establishment, and he's not receiving the level of cooperation that I think
need these.
should be afforded to him as the area counselor, but also as a city representative.
Sure.
That I think, you know, you have an obligation to, afford him the level of cooperation and respect when he tries to attempt to bring these concerns to your establishment. The reality is, and I hear you, and I think I'll first premise this on the fact that I can see that you are working with but so much space at your location, right? There's only so much you can do.
Yes.
But that's the space you chose, right? To
Correct.
operate your business. So although I can appreciate that you are trying your best, I think you have to do a little better. Okay?
Just to clarify, when he said that the person came over, my manager was not there, and I did not know at all that anybody came to my place. This is actually one of the things that I pointed out in a previous meeting, was please do come. And Maggie can have my records, my email, my phone number. You can give out to the counselor or anybody who's entrusted to come in with any issues to solve. Every time you guys call us here, we come right away, always very responsive to Maggie's emails over the last 8 years. There's never been a single time that we don't attempt to try and help in any way. And we do try to help, and we do respect the representative as everybody. It's never been our intent to do it. My understanding is perhaps there was a language barrier. Not all my employees do speak English. We have some employees that have some broken English. So perhaps that was just a misunderstanding, but nothing from, the managerial or even ownership that would, come to understanding that somebody tried or attempted to come over to address any issues. And from my perspective, if the neighbors have any problems sometimes, or I don't know if they call the police comes over and we can talk about it, but then again, it's never happened. So my understanding is eventually we'll get to know from the council, but now that you have my phone records as well and email, everything, just to come to us personally, management level, so we can at least try and help you as much as we can, because I have never heard once that they have come over myself.
I encourage you to exchange numbers with him before you leave today.
Excellent.
That would probably be the best thing to come out of
Yeah.
this, is that we have a dialogue going forward
Sure.
between you, the neighborhood, whether it's through the city councilor or
Yes.
through the neighbors themselves, but that you have a little bit more, communication with them so that these kind of things don't fester and don't become bigger problems than they need to be. Counsel, did you want to address any other issues on this?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the number of cars on the lot, truthfully, that doesn't bother me. It's not an issue to me, and to Commissioner Guanasso's point, she's just going by the license.
Well, the reason we have that, excuse me, Counsel, the reason we have that, that's the fire department.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
we have to make sure that there's an opening, God forbid there's a fire, that fire truck can get in and leave. That's the only reason I have an issue.
Understood. Thank you very much. So if I may make a recommendation, I'm excited to build a relationship with you, sir. But if I may make a recommendation where this has been an issue in the past as well, if we could do a 90-day and have them come back here in 90 days so we can reassess, just to make sure, because my big issues are speeding and traffic. We can't have those delivery cars in the middle of the road. We can't have speeding up and down. They have the Senna Motors license plate. It's very clear. And everything that we've talked about today is something that I've witnessed myself. And I'm sure that we have such a diverse community, a language barrier, you're bound to have that every day. I have tons of students who only speak Spanish as well, and Arabic and whatnot. So more than willing to work with them, and that's just a recommendation. I know that you guys will make the best decision. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Counselor. Does anyone else have anything else they want to add?
No, I have nothing else.
And nothing else.
Does anyone else want to make a motion on any suggestions or ways to handle this going forward?
I would make a motion. I mean, I'm just looking for, to be a little more courteous with the neighbors there and try to, and I understand, I do see those huge delivery trucks, and they're everywhere. I just had a problem actually getting by Bell Circle. They were at the circle with cars on them, and they're just 18-wheelers. They're huge. If when they do pull up, if they're delivering cars, someone should go right out and make sure that they're not interfering with the neighbors, and they're not in the middle of the street.
Yes. So sometimes we had troubles because some of them would park in a Squire Road, literally on Squire Road. And we've worked very hard to try and tell them, even prior to send emails or closing the bill of sale with them, to make sure that they do it actually on Patriot because it's safer. And this was also our understanding that it was safer that way. And then at some point in the past, we used to park them, yes, sort of like in the middle curb, a little more forward, because we thought it might be easier for cars as they come in. So we are also open to suggestions from you and even yourself as well, like if there's, where would you guys prefer us to do it? For the most part, we don't have the bigger trucks. We just have our small truck, which only fits 3 cars, rather than the huge ones, because the transportation mainly comes from Sena, so from the other location. We do get transportations from out of state that go there, but generally it's a smaller truck. It comes from us, and we talk to our driver every day, all the time, to try and tell them when he comes in. So when it's our driver, we tell him, when you come in, call us. They call us in advance. We move any cars. We park them right next to the dealership, as close to the curbside as we can. Has it ever happened that he came in and he wasn't and we had to move? Yes. Sometimes he forgets to make the phone call when he leaves. And then when he comes in, we have to do it. I'm not saying it's perfect 100% of the time. What I'm saying is we're trying our best to make sure that we can help the community and also those that we serve. We want to be in business and continue in business. But if there's any further suggestions, rather than being on Squire, or anything you guys would like to say as well, even it doesn't have to be now either, but anytime, you're more than welcome to. We'll be ready to help in any way.
Okay, well, at this time, I think me personally, I'd like to just see that he's in communication with the Ward 3 council, and if the council finds that, he's not trying to, just try to help out with the neighborhood, that's more what I care about. I would be okay with just leaving it at that, and if we have complaints, they come back up, obviously, then we may have to take some kind of action.
Commissioner Orsina, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I don't. I'm not sure where we're going to go with it, but I'll defer to you.
Well, I would make a motion that we file this for 90 days, as was the recommendation by the city councilor, and that we revisit this, and at the end of the 90 days, we see if the communication has improved such that everybody's comfortable going forward, and then we can have a good day.
I would second that motion.
Very good. So that's what we'll do, is we're gonna put this on file for 90 days.
Okay.
So in 3 months, we'd like to have you come back in.
Sure.
Hopefully the city council will also be available at that time,
Sure.
at which point we can see where this has gone and make sure that we are all on the right track going forward.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
That concludes the hearings for today. The next items on the agenda are communications. A notification from the Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission for the approval of an application for the transfer and pledge of an all-alcohol package store license to Pramukh Raj Gas Station, DBA Joe's Market, from Northgate Partners LLC. The second communication is a letter from Revere City Councilor Richard Serino concerning the renewal of the hotel license for Sadhguru Hotel LLC, DBA Quality Inn. And I'll read the letter. It's kind of lengthy, but I guess I'll read it.
Well, we can't vote on anyways.
No, we won't be voting on it, but I think what we would like to do is maybe ask the people from Quality Inn to come in at our next meeting, and so that they can explain, what their intentions are for the hotel license. At this point, we had them in last year when we renewed, and they said they had plans to open up the hotel, and they were gonna run it as a hotel. Well, that was a year ago, and there's been virtually no movement. There was some park and fly situation that they tried to run without a license that had to be stopped. So I think what I would ask is that my colleagues agree to send them a letter to ask them to come in at our next meeting.
I approve of that.
Would that be something that we could get behind?
Yes.
All right, so that would take care of the Quality Inn matter, and I won't bother reading Councilor Serino's letter, but he did express an opposition to us renewing their license, and also wanted some clarification on what the plans were going forward, so that hopefully at our next meeting, Councilor Serino would make himself available, and he could come in and question these folks himself if he has any additional questions. The other items that need to be discussed, I think, are there are a couple things going forward for year-end issues that we probably should discuss. One of them involves Full Rack down at the on American Legion Highway. Full Rack hasn't scheduled any inspections yet, and so they have not applied for their renewed common victualer's license. If we do not get those by January 1st, they will be out of compliance and will not be allowed to open after that date. So I just want to put them on notice that someone needs to get here, and we need to rectify this, or they're going to be prohibited from selling alcohol and food. Also in the same vein, La Villa Jewelry on Broadway has not renewed his license for jewelry pawnbroker and secondhand dealer since 2020. And so we have no renewal on that date. So at this point, he is operating unlicensed, and that needs to be brought into compliance. So basically, we put him on the same notice that as of January 1st, if he does not come in with an application and rectify this situation, he will also be prohibited from opening up his business on January 2nd. So I want those folks to be aware that that is pending. Also, Rockwall Realty Trust, which has the parking lot at the Caravan, has asked for an increase in their parking spaces. We had originally granted them 45 spaces. They came in and said that they weren't doing the business and wanted to reduce it to 30. We allowed that to happen. Now she's come back in and said, you know, business has gotten back to normal, and so she wants to increase her license back to the initial 45. I mean, I think that's commendable that she came in and was honest about the increased business. So I don't think, I would not have a problem with the increase. I don't know if my fellow commissioners have any issues with that. Very good. So that would be approved also, that her license would now go back up to 45. And the next item would be New Year's Eve closings. In the past, we've allowed establishments to remain open on New Year's Eve until 3 a.m. Basically, what would happen is that last call for alcohol would still be at 1:30, and all alcoholic beverages would be removed from patrons and discarded by 2 a.m. But patrons may remain on the premises for food service and continue with the entertainment uses allowed by the license until 2:30 a.m., and then all patrons would have to leave by 3 a.m.
So we would extend the common victual license until 2:30?
Yes.
We can do that.
Yes, and actually, and all patrons would have to be off the premises by 3.
Okay.
That's what we've done in the past, so I would ask that that be the motion, and that we, I don't know if I could get a second on that.
I'll second the motion.
Very good, that motion is approved. The next item on the agenda would be license renewals.
Excuse me, just one question. We did talk about the Quality Inn. Are we not renewing their license?
Not at this time, no,
Okay.
not until we come in for, until they come in.
Okay,
So at this
under
point,
inn holders, we'll cross them off of inn holder
yes,
licenses.
they are not going to be included on the inn holder's license at this time.
Okay.
For license renewals, if you go to the city website, you'll see all of the license renewals, the automatic amusement devices, common victulars,
Well,
the
can
one
we-
exception being Quality Inn.
Can we approve them by page?
Well,
page 8?
I could approve them by page, or I could just give them a
All of-
blanket approval and
Oh,
go
okay.
to the website. With the other exception that I would make is for, under Class 2 motor vehicle dealer, Kenneth G. LaFosse, DBA Brothers Auto. When we approved his license last time when he was here, we approved it with the stipulation that all of the taxes and such would be paid within 6 months of the approval. Now, that would take us till February. So at this point, I would make a motion that we approve this license until February, at which time the gentleman will have an opportunity to come in and show us proof of payment of the outstanding tax liability, and then at that point, we could move to approve it for the rest of the year, or take appropriate action if it hasn't been approved. So that would be my motion on that particular Class 2 motor vehicle dealer license. And if I could get a second on that, that would be something that we could do.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you very much. That motion is approved for the Class 2 motor vehicle dealer license of Kenneth G. LaFrossi, DBA Brothers Auto Body, 16 Naples Road, to approve it until February, our February meeting, at which time he will come in with proof of payment for the taxes. And I think that is the conclusion of the agenda. Maggie, have I left anything off, or are we good? Oh, the actual vote on renewals. Thank you very much. That's something that is probably kind of important. So I would make a motion that we approve all of the renewals that are listed on the city website, with the exceptions of the ones noted. They are on page 3 through 8 of our agenda.
Second that motion.
Very good. The applications for renewal are approved. Thank you very much. And I will make a motion to adjourn until January 18th.
Okay. At this time, I'd just like to wish everyone a very happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and happy holidays to all.
Thank you very much. Do I hear a second on that adjournment?
A second motion.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year, everyone.
I thought you wanted it on like Merry Christmas.